Hey y'all, on today's episode, I am answering some of the questions, I guess, that I asked you all on Instagram the other day. You didn't know this is what it was for, but I asked my Instagram broadcast channel the other day, what is the hardest part about creating content for you? And I got a ton of responses. I've pulled some of them out and we're going to go over them today on today's episode. Let's dig in. Hey, y'all, and welcome to the Social Takeoff Podcast. I'm your host, Kelli Hayes Smith. If you have found yourself going down a scroll hole of Pinterest, Google, and YouTube looking for great ways to market your travel business, but you've found nothing but frustration there, you've landed in the right place. As a travel agent, what I loved most was marketing my business, and I succeeded in it. That's why I became a marketing expert for the travel industry. And now I spend my days teaching travel agents and agency owners how to market their business on social media and beyond. So if you're ready to grow your business using social media and other marketing tactics, buckle up and let's take off. Did y'all know there's a planner out there that is made just for you, the travel agent? The Happiest Things Collective has created their planner for magical travel agents, and it is amazing. And why wouldn't it be? She's a travel agent herself. This thing has a place to keep track of your clients that are traveling. It has a place to keep track of quotes, who has final balance due. I mean, all the things that you need to create a smooth client experience and keep those clients happy so they become loyal clients. That's right. We're getting them into the loyalty phase, right? This comes in a physical and a digital version, and I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And for even more magic, you can sign up for their monthly subscription. This also comes in physical and digital versions, and you'll get amazing stickers and goodies every single month that are going to help you grow your travel business. And starting right now, I am partnering with the Happiest Things Collective to bring a monthly social media challenge to everyone inside their subscription. So go to happiestthingstravel.com, get on their subscription, get your planner, and make sure to use code KELLI15, KELLI 15 for 15% off your purchase. Hey, y'all. So the last time we were here, I talked to you about my meeting with Meta, and I am trying really hard to do as I say, and not just, do as I say, and not just you all do as I say. I don't know. That didn't come out well. Anyway, I'm trying to do what Meta told me to do. And one of those things was the broadcast channels. So I have been posting in there about once a week. And the other day, crap, it keeps stopping. Okay. The other day I asked, what do you find the hardest when creating content? And I got about 50 responses. And I want to pull some of these out and talk about them. So the first one is ideas and not obsessing on being perfect. Okay, I want to pull both of these apart. So let's talk about being perfect first. Perfectionism is just a form of procrastination. It is that feeling that it's never going to be good enough or whatever to put out there, right? Like you are judging yourself all the time. And one of the things that when I was working in OR, one of the things that one of the surgeons I worked with said is the enemy to good is great. And that comes from feeling the need to always make it better. So you keep futzing around and either you mess it up or you never finish. And so that perfectionism, procrastination can keep you from succeeding. And we know, I can say it 100 times, done is better than perfect. It only works when you put it out there. But the truth is, you need a tactical way to make that happen. And so here's what I would say. You're going to, number one, you have to set the rule for yourself. Nobody else can do this for you. But here's a rule that I would live by. Um, here's a rule that I would live by. Number one, give yourself a time limit. Say that you need to create 2 weeks of content and you've got 4 hours to do it. You've got 4 hours to create 2 weeks of your content and you've got to finish. And once you're done, you're done. Do it like a math test, right? Like the old school math test. They used to tell people to like do the hardest ones first, do the one that feels like it's going to take you the most time first, or do the easy ones first, and then go back to the hard ones. So do that. Do the easy ones first, get them out of the way, and then go to the ones that are going to take you the most time. And once the time goes off, you're done. And agree to put it out there. I assure you, content that is not perfect but posted is going to be more successful than content that never gets posted. Okay, so that's number one. Set yourself a new rule. Number two, ideas. And actually, I'm going to say this one says ideas. There's a lot of idea pieces. There is ideas that will catch followers' eyes. Posts that encourage engagement. There was a lot about engagement. So it's like ideas, let's see. Creating enough content, keeping attention, all that comes back to ideas. What to post. So that's ideas. Can't come up with great ideas. Ideas. There's a lot of people talking about ideas. So let's go into where I get ideas from. Number one place that if I am feeling stuck, and actually this episode is a great example of this, because I have been feeling really stuck on what to talk about. I want to give you all my best content. I want to give you all things that you can use. And if I'm being completely honest, I have been feeling a little, I don't want to use the word worthless because that's not exactly what I mean, but unhelpful. Like I'm not actually providing solid quality content, and it's really been bothering me. And so I was at a loss of ideas. And so what did I do? I posted a question inside my broadcast channel and asked people to respond, and then I created this from that. So you can ask your audience. Now, I am under complete I completely understand that until you get to a certain point, getting people to respond to your questions may or may not happen. Fine. Post them out there, see what people answer. Okay? That's number one. Number two, write down questions that you answer for your clients over and over again. That is a surefire way that people need that type of they need those answers. So that's a good one. And this is the third one. And actually, we did this at the last content creation retreat that I hosted in January. And we had two solid groups of people. We had a group of people that did not plan Disney, but they focused on other things. And we had a group of people that really focused mostly on Disney and Universal, like theme park vacations. And what we did was, for an entire hour when we were waiting on lunch to be delivered, we took turns, and the non-Disney people asked the Disney people questions that they saw floating around out there, because we all see these things. Like, we're in the travel community, so you know good and well that these questions are out there, and they didn't know the answers to them. So they spent 5 minutes asking the Disney people questions, and I'm like, we were answering them, but I'm like, write these questions down. This is content. And then the other ones would go back at it. Like the Disney people would ask about cruises, about Alaska, about Europe, about all inclusives, whatever. And they're asking them questions. And it's like, write those questions down. So find yourself a group of people that you can connect with that don't do exactly what it is that you do. They aren't as well versed. If you do Disney, these people are not well versed in Disney. If you specialize in Europe, these people are doing Disney and they don't know Europe well. And ask each other questions, because these are things, because you have to think about the content that you're putting out there has to be on the beginner level. If you are doing Disney content and you are teaching Disney travel agents things, you are over your ideal client's head and they aren't stopping. So you've got to pull back to step one in the beginning. What's the basics? And I don't want to say keep it simple, stupid, because it's not like that. Those people aren't stupid. It's just teach them like they are a fifth grader, because they aren't talking about that. But if you went into their job, they would need to explain to you how to do it at a low, like at a beginner's level. So if you go to other travel agents and you all create this forum where you're like, I'll ask questions to you about things that I don't do, but you do. And you ask questions and like share that, write down those questions that they have, and then you have ideas of content. Another part of strategic content, and actually that was in here as well. Like I post, I create and schedule, but I'm not using a strategy. Your ideas should come from your goals. What I mean by that is you have to break down. So let's say that your goal is to up your cruise sales this year, your dollar amount of cruise sales. Before you start going after like more sales and more clients, consider how you could upgrade or make more off the bottom line of who's already booking with you. So maybe that looks like you need to find out who is um who is are you always do you find that you are booking more interior and ocean view rooms than veranda rooms? Start talking about the value of going from ocean view to veranda. Do you find that you are booking veranda rooms, but you would like that, but increasing to concierge or suite level? Talk about the value there. You have to talk about the value of upping that bottom line. If you do Disney, talk about the value of the dining plan, the value of Memory Maker, the value of staying deluxe versus moderate, the value of staying at theme park view room versus standard view room, the value of staying at concierge instead of the regular room, like whatever it is, how can you up that next level? And so if your ideal client is on a moderate budget, you're going to talk to moderate and then talk to them about the value of going up just a little bit, because a lot of times if you can prove the value of it, they're going to spend more money. So start thinking how you can raise that bottom line, and that should give you ideas there as well. Okay, that was the first one. All right, let's see. Engagement is another big one. So like how to create posts that encourage engagement. I'm always using the same calls to action, getting engagement, um, getting engagement, um, keeping attention, which I would consider engagement. So there's a lot of engagement here. You teach people how to engage with your content. It doesn't just happen. Now, you've got to keep throwing the calls to action out there, whether or not they are commenting. Here's the other thing. There are going to be some posts that a ton of people interact with, and then there's going to be some posts that don't. Like, let that go. It's fine. Expect that. If you post a personal picture, you're going to get more likes. If you post something that just happens to really hit, you may get a bunch of comments. But you teach people how to interact with your content by the way you interact. So rather than saying, I'm not getting engagement, what can you do to up your engagement? Number one, you can engage with other people's content. That is very, very important. If you aren't engaging with other people's content, do not expect people to engage with yours. Your content will be pushed in the algorithm more if you are engaging. So you can engage with people you already follow, start there. Then you can learn, and this is a whole episode, so I'm not going to go into it right now, but you can learn how to find ideal clients and go engage with them. But if you need to, just start with your followers. Start with people who actually watch your stories. That's what I would do. Okay, that's what you're going to do. Start engaging with the people that watch your stories. I don't care if there's only 6 people that watch your stories. Screenshot who is watching your stories and go engage with their content. These are warm leads, number one, because they're invested enough in you to watch your stories. And number two, it gives you a starting point. So that's where we're going to start. We'll go in another episode of the podcast. We will go into how to go find more people for engagement, but we're going to start with the people that watch our stories. Didn't know I was going to do that, but here we are. Okay. Now, the other part is when you engage back with them, if they comment on your content, then you need to comment back with something that creates conversation and not just a one liner or thanks girl or a bunch of heart emojis. You need to comment back with a question, something that will create engagement, something that will create conversation. Your goal is with that comment conversation to get them into the DMs for a conversation. So you teach people how to engage on your content. Use that question box in your stories. If nobody asks questions, put the questions in your own question boxes that you wish they would ask. You're teaching people. I did that for years. Put my own questions in. Nobody knows. Get in there and answer them. You're teaching people how to engage with you. The truth is, the more you engage, the more people will engage with you. The more, if you post and ghost and they never see you active, why would they be active? So start there. And I gave you an assignment. Go screenshot the people who are watching your stories. And if you're not posting stories, then you're going to have to start posting stories before you can do that. Okay, let's find another one. There's several fear of getting on cameras here. And so let me address that first. If you are struggling with like getting on camera, one of the things that I would do first is on Instagram, when you go to live, you can change the audience to practice and then no one sees it. And start doing this while you're doing the stuff you do every day. So if you make yourself a cup of coffee every morning, turn it on to a practice video, record yourself, and talk through making the cup of coffee. I'm picking this mug. I picked this mug today because I love it and I'm really feeling, let's see, what mug did I pick today? Luke's Diner. I picked this because I'm in the mood for Luke's. I'm kind of grumbly like Luke is today, and I love this mug. It's cute. I got it at, explain all of that. Okay, now I'm going to get coffee. Today, I just decided to make 1 cup instead of a half pot because I know that my 17-year-old is going out for coffee with somebody else. And so he won't be here to share the pot with me. So I'm going to make this 1 pot. I always use 3 Splendas in my coffee and I love sweet cream creamer. Like, talk through that as you're going. Nobody's going to see this. You're talking to yourself, but you're practicing getting on camera. And do that with as many things throughout the day that you have time to do. If you're folding laundry, get on there and talk. Practice being on camera until you're starting to get comfortable enough to show up in that way. I will record how to get that audience, that practice audience today, and we'll post that as a reel one day this week. So if you don't know how to do that, you'll see it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I had another one I was going to tackle and now I've lost it. I went off on a tangent on that one and now I've lost it. Dang it. Let's see. Oh, I know. One of these that I got was where did it go? Well, dang it. Hold on. I'm searching. This is how y'all know it's real. How to create in Canva. We can work on that, but I can't really do that over a podcast. Where did it go? Always advertising destinations instead of my services. The key to this is I want you to create a list of the things that you do. So when you create a post and it's about, let's see, what do you sell? Let's go to your page. Oh, Disney. Okay. You create a post about the dining plan. And you are showcasing the destination because you're talking about the dining plan. But what the service that relates to that would be is helping you decide if the dining plan is right for your family and which dining plan would be best for you. So if that's what you're talking about, the service is I help you decide what works best for your family. So make a list of your services, the things that you know you do to help them. And then you'll have that when you create the content. You can say, oh, yep, this one works for that. Now, is it always going to work? Like, you're going to add to it all the time. That's fine. Just keep a running list. You can put it in the notes on your phone. You can keep it on your desk, whatever, but just keep it close by. All right, let's see. We got time for 2 more. What to post, when to post, what type of post. That's awesome. Okay, when to post is easy. I think we talked about this in the Meta the other day. Meta told me that they are seeing most activity every day between 12 and 5 p.m. They suggested that's when I post. So let's just try that, okay? I don't feel like when to post is like the most important thing, but like if they're going to say that, then let's go with it. Number 2, what to post. We've talked about that, ideas. So listen to the beginning of the podcast. But what type of post? Every type of post. One idea can be every type of post. One idea can be a reel, a graphic, stories, a live, an infographic. It can be all of the things. One post can be everything. It can be an anecdote with a personal photo. So don't come up with one idea and that's one post. One idea should be like 6 or 8 posts long. You don't have to do it one time and you're done. So when you come up with a piece of content, start thinking, how can I do this in all of these different ways? All right. Last one. I'm looking for one that's different. Okay, wording. Here's the thing. One of my hard and fast rules is if the graphic or the post has a lot of text, I don't put a lot of text in the caption. But if there's not a lot of text in the graphic, then I will microblog in the caption. So put your text one place or the other, either in the graphic or in the caption. But when it comes to how to say things, type like you talk. It has been social media is not a place to be overly professional, like you're writing a letter to like a resume or something. Like this is social media. It is very relaxed. It should be very authentic. And so when people hear you speak, what you have talked or the way that they have read your captions, they should be able to hear your voice do that. And so a lot of times when I have people tell me that they are struggling with copy, I will tell them to use the phone, like type it into your audio messages or say it into your audio messages and then go back and type it out, or use speech to text, which I do a lot. When I really am like playing procrastination and I don't want to do I don't want to write a caption, I'll use speech to text because talking it out is easier. All right. Thanks so much. I will try to answer a few more of these on stories today. If you're not yet a member of my broadcast channel, Marketing Tips for TAs, you can join that at my Instagram page. I also have decided that I'm going to do a get ready with me video. I'm not going to tell you what makeup I use. Don't worry. I'm just going to go live in subscribers once a week as I get ready. I will never know what day that is, so I'll try to give you a heads up. But I have been struggling with when to do that based on time. And I'm like, you know what? I have time when I'm curling my hair. And so we're just going to talk about different topics, whatever's on my heart inside subscribers. So you can also join that from my Instagram page. And y'all, I appreciate you hanging with me. And yeah, I'll see y'all next week. Have a great day. No. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast. I'm so glad you were here. Make sure you're following along on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and pretty much anywhere else. You can find me at Kelli Hayes Smith everywhere there's social. And make sure you leave us a review. That's one way that we get to bring you more content each week. And we'll see you back here next Tuesday for an all-new episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast.